And we are here again. We are here again. We are here again. Yep. Good night, everyone. Good night. Good night. Good night. I am here for. I'm here for work. Let me fix my lights. Hold on. All right. Good night. Good night. Good night, everyone. Good night. Good evening. Well, it's actually good evening. And so, if you are just tuning in, hey, Shannon. Shannon, you're always looking out. You're always looking out. I love it. 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 Um, wow, this thing is making me look so different with my hair. Nonetheless, guys, I am happy you are all here. I didn't check today to see how much more persons has YouTube caused to have come to the channel. But nonetheless, it's obvious that something good is going on here. And six of you so far has jumped on. Which means that you are seeing there's something happening on the channel that has caused you to return. And so, oh, Shannon, make sure that she's tuning in as well, okay? Because listen, you did you stay all night last night, Shannon? Did you stay until the end of the presentation last night? Last night I felt like I was really giving, like I was really, really digging in last night, guys. I must tell you that I'm finding myself really enjoying these presentations. And I said something last night that I want to reiterate tonight because I think that got to the core of he fell asleep. That's okay. It kind of got to the core of my being last night, that this is really my business, right? I shared it last night. And if you're new, you're just tuning in, guys, I'm your girl Simone. And I've been known for coming with interactive, nail biting, what do I call it, interviews. And so I took a break, and so I've returned with, a little twist to the channel, more of a blog style. It will still have its motivational side, but I'm bringing more faith, empowerment, and finance to it. So this week we've been looking at and that is a series likening life's journey to that of being in a car and on a journey. So I would say, when was it? Tuesday night. Tuesday night, I started looking at staying in your lane, right? Why rush? Why rushing can derail your success. So you can go and check that one back out. Last night, I dealt with navigating life's highways, right? Finding your lane in relationships, career, and personal growth. That one still remains a favorite of mine because I really did talk a lot to our married couples and our singles, and then just overall. So last night was really, 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 really getting on. Oh, actually, I just realized that this was not even last night's. What did I do with last night's own? I don't know. But the long and short, guys, is that we have been really looking at just how to navigate, starting out your new year. It's still a new year because today is just the ninth day of the new year. And it's never too late to get started, guys. Never, ever too late. As a matter of fact, even if you had started on December 31st, the fact of the matter is you would have started and you'd have gotten an early ticket to the new year. Last night, we had looked at Oh, for some strange reason, I thought I had last night's thing here. But tonight we're looking at overcoming roadblocks, right? We are looking tonight at overcoming roadblocks, how to handle obstacles and detours in life. Now, last night I was sharing, guys, that um, I've been kind of busy in terms of busy looking all over the place, looking for opportunities for speaking engagements. And you kind of bury your gift, or you're holding on to your gifts, waiting for what we call the appropriate time, and not realizing that you need to just start blooming right where you are. Yes, start right where you are. That's the reality of the matter. Just start where you are, right? um and so I made a decision last night that, you know what, this is where I'm going to show up every night, between at least 6 nights of the week, between 8 and 9 o'clock. I'm going to show up here, because, and the more I show up, you know what's going to happen? The more you're going to look forward to seeing me come, because you just don't know what I'm going to bring. And I'm bringing substance. I did a short sharing how YouTube in the last 9 days, YouTube, not even 9 days, it was what, 7 days or something, or 5 days? No, 3 days. What am I saying? In the last 3 days, YouTube would have pushed the channel, and the channel would have grown by at least 9 more persons, right? Show up every day and you'll never know what will happen. So let's dive in tonight, the whole matter of how to overcome obstacles, right? What are the things you can do to handle the obstacles and the detours that will come along the pathway of life? And guys, when I finish, you can look back and you'll see even the thumbnail that, again, I shared last night, that as you're navigating the road, right, you're driving on the road, there comes a time when the lane narrows, and they put up the sign that tells you that the lane is narrowing, and so you have to move over into the next lane, whether it be a fast lane to a slow lane, or a slow lane into a fast lane. The fact of the matter is that change is inevitable. Now, guys, life isn't always a smooth highway. That's the reality. It isn't always a smooth highway. There are roadblocks, there are detours, and there are unexpected stops. And those can literally throw you off from time to time, right? Those can really throw you off your course. Today, we will explore how to overcome these challenges and keep moving forward. I sure hope that um, as you listen tonight, that you'll be able to identify some of these obstacles, and you will learn a thing or two regarding how you can overcome these obstacles. So let's start with defining what our obstacles are. The obstacles are, we sometimes classify them as personal setbacks. We sometimes call them professional obstacles, and they're sometimes known as emotional struggles. Let me say that again. Our setbacks, right, or roadblocks, are often can be categorized as three different things. They can either be your personal setbacks, your professional obstacles, or your emotional struggles. Now, your personal setbacks, those are usually, they're usually broken down into your relationship challenges or burnout. Those are your personal examples, right? The professional ones are the lack of opportunities, or even being laid off from work. And of course, the emotional struggles, guys, the fears, the self-doubt. And again, go check out last night's one, because when I tell you I dived into it last night, I really got into it last night. um the roadblock A roadblock doesn't mean the journey is over. A roadblock doesn't mean the journey is over. It just requires a new approach. Oh my God. Let me say that again. A roadblock doesn't mean the journey is over. It just requires a new approach. It's like if you're driving, guys, you're driving to go on the highway, and for whatever reason the highway is blocked. You best believe that there is always another way. I usually and I lived in Spanish Town. There are two different ways, especially if you're going down to Flatbridge. There are two different ways. Well, actually, there are now three different ways you can take. You can stay on the Spanish Town bypass, or you can decide to go through Spanish Town, or you can decide to take the highway. whichever one works for you. So a roadblock does not mean the journey is over. It just requires a new approach. Now, what are some of the types of roadblocks and detours that we can come upon? If we were to just be look at it practically, it can be that there was an accident, it can be that there was a mudslide or a landslide, it can be that they're working on the road, right? Different things happen to cause roadblocks. So in life, what are some of the things that causes our personal roadblocks? Well, fear of failure, fear of failure and judgment. And let me tell you something, like right now I'm looking, you will see this on the reverse, but there's literally nobody on this live right now except me, based on what Google is showing, because it shows you how many persons are watching, how many thumbs up you would have gotten. And right now, there's nobody on it. And it's so easy to say, well, there's nobody watching. Let me just stop talking. Let me just come off the live. I am not coming off the live one bit, because for too long I have allowed myself to be held back by fear and judgment, the opinions of others. And that's one of the things that causes personal, some for some persons, personal roadblocks, right? Feeling stuck again, feeling stuck in a wrong relationship or a wrong job or even a wrong mindset, guys, can hold you back. I share with persons, I would have done a video on it a couple of years ago with my struggles with anxiety. And the fact is, what used to happen is that instead of seeing the road as a straight road, I kept seeing it twisted. And so what that was doing is that it was hampering the way in which I drove on the road. Mindset, guys. I kept telling myself, guess what, Simone, you're going to get through this. You're going to get through this. While I'm driving, I'm looking at the other cars and I said, Simone, they're not tilting. They're not twisting. You can do it. I kept telling myself, Simone, the car has four wheels on it. You are quite good. You are quite good. You are quite good. So one of the roadblocks, guys, is that you have for the personal side, you have fears, you have fear of failure, and then you have the whole mindset, right? And we can get become stuck in those things, and it prevents us from moving forward, hence a roadblock to what we are supposed to be moving to next. External roadblocks, guys, let's talk about some of those. Some of our external roadblocks take the form of financial struggles. Let's be real. One of the main reasons why people, as a matter of fact, if you ask me, there are two reasons why people tend not to move forward: fear and lack of finances. Yeah, financial struggles, the layoffs, the lack of support, right? Those are some of the external roadblocks. The sudden life changes like illness and family issues or unforeseen events. Let's be real, life happens. Life happens, guys, and it can really, as they would say, throw spokes in your wheel. It can really derail you from the path that you are in. I don't remember who I was talking to the other day, and they were sharing, they were on a great trajectory. They had their life all worked out and the whole works and nice smooth road until I think somebody died or something, or the cash flow stopped. And so all of that, what the promise of a great future ahead came to what seemed like a full stop. But I will dare to say to you tonight that a roadblock, I said it before, a roadblock doesn't mean the journey ends. It doesn't mean the journey ends. It just requires a new approach. Oh my God. So detours, unexpected paths that seem inconvenient, right? But lead to growth or new opportunities. Um, Again, this is something that I've been doing, especially in this new environment that I'm in. I Guys, if I tell you how many times I've gotten lost. um but guess what, I was lost. I would say I was lost then, because the truth is I did not know the environment. But you see, now that I am getting to know the environment more and more, I'm not lost. I'm taking a shortcut, right? And sometimes, yes, it may be a longer route, but I'm enjoying the scenery. The reality of the matter is a detour which seems inconvenient it usually leads to growth. It usually leads to new experiences, and new opportunities. So the next time you find yourself lost, guys, you're not lost. You're just tapping into new opportunities, right? And an opportunity for growth as well as an experience. Now, how do you overcome these roadblocks, guys? How to overcome these roadblocks? And I think I have it up there, that 5 ways within which you can seek to overcome these roadblocks to your life's journey, right? One, acknowledge the block. Acknowledge the thing that is causing the issue. And I did share already, guys, that those, they take the form of personal setbacks, they take the form of professional obstacles, and they take the form of emotional struggles, right? So face them, right? Acknowledge that they're there. You can't fix what you ignore. Identify what's stopping you, right? I've always said to persons, if you have a problem and you do not say it to me or say to the person you have the problem with, but go around telling everybody else, that problem will never get solved. It's like having a car that has a mechanical issue and you're taking that car to everybody else except the mechanic. That car will never get fixed. Face the problem, guys. Acknowledge the block. You cannot fix what you are ignoring, right? Next, check your route. Reassess your goals, right? We're talking about how to overcome your obstacles. Check your route, or in other words, reassess your goals. Reflect on whether the roadblock is assigned to pivot or push through. So, Flatbridge, again, in Jamaica, guys, Flatbridge is one of those places where, depending on where the rain is, you will decide if you're going to take a quick chance and drive through Flatbridge, or if you're going to take a detour. It's the same thing with life's journey, guys. Assess it. Check your goals. Can you pause now? Can you take a detour? Can you work for a little bit? Can you pause, go to school a little bit to come back around to, tapping into what you really, really want to do? Listen, I'll repeat it again. A roadblock is not the end of your journey. It just simply means it just requires a new approach. So the first thing we do to overcome our roadblocks is that we acknowledge the block. Let me just tick these because I need to do a short on it. We acknowledge the block. We check and we assess our goals, right? We reflect on whether we need to pivot or if we need to push through. We adjust our speed, right? We adjust our speed, and we talked about speed already, guys. I think it was 2 nights ago. We talked about the matter of speed, taking it step by step, or even creating a step by step guide if you need to. Break down the problem into smaller, manageable actions, right? So that you can know exactly how you are maneuvering. Fourth, ask for directions. Ask for direction, seek help. A lot of persons are afraid to ask for help because we're afraid of what people will think. We're afraid of what people will say. Well, you know what, guys? I'm going to present myself out here with a lot of the answers and solutions to the problems that you are facing. I'm going to try to be as real as I can possibly be. And of course, I will solicit your questions so that I can answer them, so that you don't need to endure what you're enduring it during on your own, and simply because you don't want anybody else to know. Just come over here, come over, Simone Stewart, uniquely me with Simone Stewart, and see if Simone has addressed this in any possible way, and if any of the things shared is adoptable, right? But don't sit and suffer in silence. Reach out to mentors, reach out to friends, or reach out to a professional who've navigated similar challenges. Guys, there's a place for counselors. There's a place for mentors. There's a place for coaches. And so some of you are good at talking and sharing with others. So it may not necessarily be that you need to go and find a mentor. It may just be that you need to present yourself as a mentor, right? So that you can help others to navigate and overcome the obstacles, the roadblocks that's in their path to success. Lastly, guys, keep the destination in mind. Keep the destination in mind. Focus on long term goals rather than temporary setbacks. So, yes, I did share life happens. Life happens, but don't keep focusing on what did not happen. In other words, you're looking at the glass. You can look at the glass half empty, or you can decide to look at the glass half full. Keep going, guys. And of course, share personal or relatable stories. Um, Oh, sorry, that's just my notes. Telling me that I must share a story, guys, of setbacks. Um, guys, I can share that last year when we pivoted, it was a little roadblock, right? I thought I would have walked into a job, and because for the last 30 odd years, I have been working, right? And here it was that for the first in over 30 years, I was without a job. And I mean, I don't even know. It was I got up, I got frustrated a little bit because it felt like things were not happening as quickly as I'd have wanted them to. But I found that in the process, I learned so much. I started SimC Solution Center. I started building my coaching mentoring business. I got a client. I started my mentoring with her. I started digital products and creating digital products, guys. I taught a couple workshops. I discovered so many things about myself during that time, that seeming downtime. So again, I'll say to you that an obstacle, a roadblock, it does not necessarily mean that the journey has come to an end. It just means that it's time for a new approach. And so as I wrap up, guys, I just want to ask you, what is the roadblock that you are currently facing, right? Of the three that I've shared, I shared that roadblocks take three different forms. They can either be personal setbacks, professional obstacles, or emotional struggles. Which of these are you facing? And would you be willing, feel free to share in the chat, guys, share in the comment box the struggles that you are having. Feel free, and let's address them. I'm going to go back through the comments and see if I see anything, and take the time to either make another video or do a short just answering the question, guys. But I will dare say to you that life will happen, and detours are a part of life. But do not get derailed, guys. Overcome your obstacles, right? I shared 5 ways in which you can overcome those obstacles. Let me just repeat the 5 ways that you can overcome the obstacles. 1, acknowledge the block. 2, check your route, reassess your goals. 3, adjust your speed. In other words, take it step by step. 4, ask for directions. And 5, keep the destination in mind. If you do those 5 things, guys, I guarantee you that you will be able to overcome life's roadblocks, and you will be able to continue the journey, the pathway of personal and professional success. I really do feel tired tonight, but I shared last night that this is my, I'm seeing it not as a side hustle, not just as a passion project, but I'm making this coming here on YouTube like a business, guys. I'm showing up, right? I'm showing up because as I show up, then more I become more credible, I become more dependable in your eyes, and I become eventually an you call it an authority in the area. So thank you, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I truly hope that you would have found substance in tonight, and that if you are indeed facing any of these particular struggles, any of these particular roadblocks, at least one thing I said of the 5 would have been able to help you overcome. Guys, I'd love to know, of the 5 things, which one was your favorite? Which one do you think you will apply to overcome those obstacles? All right, guys, have a beautiful evening. We'll do this again tomorrow. Thanks again, and it's always good to be here. See you in my next video.